Hello, this is Kathy Chase again. I have something very important to talk about in this message. It's about RFID and the Constitution and privacy. My understanding is that people are ignoring my constitutional rights and manipulating my constitutional rights because other people have put so much RFID in my body, and the whole debate of RFID and privacy issues. Huge manipulation, a violation of many laws, what has happened to me, and liabilities that are not even mine. I am not liable for other people running around Lincoln, Nebraska, putting RFID in people's bodies because they think they can get by with it because of the fact that it's already debatable with the Constitution and privacy laws in this country. These people are huge manipulators. They think they can violate my constitutional rights because these other people who are violating my constitutional rights are the guilty people who put it in my body to begin with. They're doing this to other people. They've done this to my kids. And I want something done about these people because they're running around Lincoln, Nebraska hospitals, which are located on 16th and South, 48th Street, which has 1600 for the number on the hospital, and 70th Street. They are all in the south part of town, all three hospitals. The fourth hospital would be the Veterans Hospital, which is directly across the street from St. Elizabeth's. 555 is the address there. 555 is the courthouse building. These people are putting RFID in people's bodies because they're manipulating privacy laws and the Constitution and the whole issue with government and privacy. Well, this is way out of hand. Congress needs to act on this immediately because this town is way out of hand. You've got these people who have gotten too deep into government stuff, being able to perform hypnosis on people these people are not even government. The people that I used to go to high school with are just a bunch of brats that know too much about government techniques and have manipulated my constitutional rights because they think they can own me because, the whole privacy laws and violations, which is debatable. As I said, RFID should be used in a good way, but these people are using it in a malicious way to try to get me killed, and this is absolutely absurd. I'm tired of this going on. I'm not responsible for being victimized by these people in which are freaking hiding behind government because of privacy laws and liabilities, and the whole debate with RFID and privacy. I'm not willing to pay for my life in vain for a bunch of criminals who think they can manipulate government by liabilities and privacy laws and all this other stuff. This something needs to be done about this. Congress needs to act immediately. This has got to stop. Okay, this is way out of hand in Lincoln, Nebraska. These people are just basically running this town with putting this in people's bodies, such as mine, my children, and nobody's doing anything about it. And this is not something we should be doing in America. This is an outrage. This shouldn't be happening. You can't hide behind the fact that RFID is used in many countries for forms of intelligence to be able to try to commit public murder. They're trying to manipulate the whole aspect of RFID and the good purposes of RFID, and I am abused with RFID. These people cannot take my constitutional rights because they violated my body. They can't manipulate my health rights or the laws with my health records. They can't manipulate nothing. They can't go around slandering me, slander and say things about me. I'm really tired of these people and their corruption in this town. And I know other people in Lincoln are tired of them too. A lot of people that know what's going on are really quite sick of watching this. And then there's the people that are so brainwashed that they don't even know that they're hanging out with their own enemy. These people pretended to be my friends. I don't know what these people think, that they're going to be their friends too. They'll pretend to be your friends, but they don't even know that they're probably then watching when you go into the hospital and putting RFID in your body so they can get you on their side and control you. And this is pathetic. This is sick. And the CIA and the FBI need to stop this now. Whatever they have to do it. These people are trying to commit murder based on liabilities and trying to manipulate privacy laws with holding, putting government in chokeholds and liabilities. And they can't take my constitutional rights because my life and my body has been violated. You can't commit murder based on those principles. These people are, they act as mafia. They act as if they're just huge bullies. And it's time for this stuff to stop. As far as the laws being there to protect other people, they're already in place already. Other people, strangers, cannot put other things in other people's bodies without their consent. The government, by standard, which it's not, there's nothing private about this information because it's on the web. Anything you can find on the web is not really confidential, classified information. Just like they tag animals, they tag human beings at birth. And technically, all of us should only have one RFID in our body, which I believe is placed in the belly button or navel at the time of birth. Now, as I was saying, technically there's laws that already are cover me and my children. People can't go and without other people's consent and put added RFID into other people's bodies because they want to try to manipulate this whole privacy issue in the Constitution. They can't do that. It's being used as a malicious weapon. It's no different than putting a knife into somebody's body or shooting somebody with a gun. It's the RFIDs put in my body is being used maliciously to invade my privacy on a larger scale. People manipulated my life to violate my privacy on a bigger scale because government's never contacted me. Government can never contact me because they knew, for one, I'm not at fault. The liabilities aren't mine, and people wanted to put me in this weird circumstance, which would make me very vulnerable by a big, huge violation of my privacy on a larger scale than most people, as far as RFID is concerned. And as I said, there's already laws that cover this. You can't put items in people's bodies without their consent, and it's no different than shooting somebody or walking up to somebody and stabbing them because they're using this violation of my privacy rights and my constitutional rights on a larger scale to manipulate standard RFID, and which has a purpose. And I don't appreciate being abused and neglected. And I do have constitutional rights, and I want them to be acknowledged. And that's this is probably the most important message of everything I have to say. So my kids should not have this added RFID in their bodies. I should not either. But at the same time, we shouldn't be punished because we're being punished because other people violated our bodies. Does that make sense to anybody? No, that doesn't make sense to anybody. And I'm fed up with this whole corruption and conspiracy and people acting as children who are supposed to be adults. This is not appropriate behavior, and has to stop. And more action needs to be taken in hospitals, doctors' clinics, especially here locally in Lincoln, Nebraska, to prevent this from happening. You've got medical liabilities, you'd have government liabilities, you'd have the bearers who bought the RFID, which every single piece of RFID in my body and in my children's bodies is traceable to the person who purchased the RFID, whether they purchased it by credit card or online through a vendor of some sort. They would have had to have purchased it somewhere, and it's all traceable. Every single piece of RFID in my body is traceable to the persons who bought it. So, that's why they try to keep me cornered. And my children haven't had health insurance since the end of September. And they look for ways to manipulate and make things worse versus to problem solve and say, this is out of hand, this is ridiculous. When you got people putting RFID in other people's bodies, this is a new form. This is a crime wave here in Lincoln, Nebraska. And this could get way worse if people don't do anything about it. So this is Kathy Chase. This is very important that action is taken to prevent this from continuing to happen and from these people succeeding in the murder of either me and my children or other people out there who are unknowing victims here, especially in Lincoln, Nebraska, because this is where a huge problem exists at this time. So there will be more voicemails, but this is probably the most important one yet.